I'm Kane, that's Copes, and it is all about postseason basketball on today's show. The NBL Championship Series has arrived, and we are stepping it up a notch, and this is why we're standing. We are just tidying this show up a little bit with an NBA champion, Tristan Thompson, Copes.
The real Tristan Thompson?
The real Tristan Thompson.
LeBron's friend?
The LeBron's teammate going to be with us in just a couple of minutes' time, but you do know a lot about this time of year when it comes to the NBL. A two-time NBL champion and an NBL Grand Final MVP, and we know there is nothing more that you love than get your own highlights up on the screen.
Look at you.
But talk to us about the nerves leading into a game one of a championship series.
Very stressful. You know why it's stressful? Because the people calling you, your friends want tickets, your mom and dad want to wish you well, and you just want to concentrate on the game and doing the job, which is putting points up like I did in this game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You do not look nervous going by these highlights, though, it has to be said. And if you've won a Grand Final MVP, the question I have for you is, we think of the Melbourne Tigers, we think of yourself, we think of Andrew Gaze. How did you steal one from Andrew Gaze, or was it the other way around in 1993?
Well, I thought I should have won both, the one in 93 and in 97, but here's the thing. Gaze, when they double-teamed Gaze, I had to step up. And sometimes when you step up, you win MVPs, and it just happened that I got into a zone, made a couple of shots, and the ring was ours.
Well, we also know that you got your job done in the celebration time as well. And that's when you have hanger-runners like me that are trying to come up and be a part of the action. This is the celebrations that we saw absolute bedlam in Richmond after you won the title. What do you remember of the celebrations, if anything, and keep it family friendly?
I don't remember a lot. I just remember going to the venue, and there were thousands of people just having fun. Everyone wants to hug you and kiss you, and music played, drinks flowing. It was a fantastic time back in the day. And look, memory brings up goosebumps. I got goosebumps.
I know, it looks like you got dust in your eyes right now, Copes. You might be starting to get a little bit emotional, but in all seriousness, when you do look back, and it was a while ago now, but do you remember those?
You don't have to keep reminding people how long ago it was.
No, but what do you think when you do see that and think back to the series you had, the combination you had with Gaze and obviously the Melbourne Tigers and all the success?
Well, it was just something special. I mean, back in our day, we played 48 minutes, and guys were a bit more physical. So we got a chance to go out there, and they never won in Perth in 10 tries. So it was a hard match to go do. We went there, got it done, came back, fans going crazy, you know, and it was something, Channel 10, ESPN, everyone was just happy about it. And, you know, it was something I was extremely happy about and I'm proud of.
I remember it, and you should be proud of it. But now we're going to bring in an NBA champion, Tristan Thompson. But first, let's go back to the 2016 NBA Finals. Everyone remembers watching it. It was a chaotic series.
James drives, gets in the paint, puts it up, and puts it in. He's making plays for you. You got smaller guys on you. You got to capitalize. That time he does, right on cue mark, with Klay Thompson switching on him on many of the Cavs' possessions here to start the fourth. James drives down the lane, running shot, banks, and it's good. 5 to shoot. Azili again goes back up on him. James steps back for 3, puts it in! Irving drives, hop step inside, floats it up, misses. Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James! Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! Shumpert trying to stay with Curry. Catches, one dribble, steps back, puts up a 3. Won't go. Rebound tip taken by Spades. Final seconds. It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions. Cleveland's long sports nightmare has ended. The drought is over. 52 years. Time to celebrate a title.
The 2016 NBA Finals, Copes, a series that basketball fans will never forget. And I tell you who else won't forget it. Our next guest. We are stepping things up a little bit here when it comes to Kane and Copes. We're going NBA champion style. Tristan Thompson, thanks for taking some time with us. We really appreciate it. And I will say this also, we've seen you on our TV screen every day over the last few weeks. You've come across to the dark side.
Appreciate you guys having me. Nah, man, I'm enjoying this journey, this new process. So I'm loving it. And guess what? I like being on your TV. That means I'm doing something right.
Last time we had Richard Jefferson on, he had his shirt unbuttoned, he had the chest showing, and Richard gave me a compliment. I love the way you dress, man. You're looking good. Don't worry. You're looking good. Fantastic.
I had to do it in honor of RJ. In honor of RJ, a fellow teammate, another NBA champ. It's only right.
And you are, let's be honest, you're in the studio with RJ a lot as well. Let's get straight to this. You're with a bunch of big personalities in the ESPN studio. Who is, early days, the one guy that you were really excited about getting into it with?
Oh, I mean, I think everyone knows the answer to this one. It's Big Perk.
Yes, yes.
Big Perk was a teammate of mine in Cleveland. We went to 2 finals together. We've had a relationship for years since I've been in NBA. So it's always good to see him having success, but also get after it with him. We've had a couple jarring matches back and forth, so I'm loving it going at Big Perk.
Tristan, when were you most nervous, playing or doing your media stuff? What makes you the most nervous?
Most nervous, I think maybe media, just because, especially when you're going back and forth with other analysts, you really want to make sure you have strong points, because it's almost like the barbershop. You know, you can lip box, you can go back and forth and talk, but you got to really make sure you get your point across and it makes sense. You know, some guys, you know, they'll just talk the talk, but I like to actually have some substance so that the viewers at home are like, you know what? I'm on his side.
That's right.
Now, you are sitting in the analyst chair now, so we want to get to some of the big topics in the NBA right now. But before we do, we did come off those highlights from the 2016 championship. I don't know, if it was me, I would be watching them every single day. I imagine you've got a little bit more patience than me. But what do you think when you look back at that series 3-1 down, what it meant for the city and what it meant for you guys individually?
No, it meant everything. Being able to come back from 3-1, first NBA team, and I think probably pro sports team to come back from 3-1 in a finals elimination series. I think, you know, not to be biased, I think we probably have the best championship team of all time, just because of what we overcome, but also beating a 73-9 Golden State Warrior team. I think that speaks a lot. Our team should definitely be in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But listen, I'm a person that I even like start biting my nails when I rewatch the highlights. Like, I know the result. I have the ring. I have it in my safe deposit box. I know I won the game, but I still get nervous watching it every time. So trust me, I'm just like you guys, biting my nails at the fingertips. And thank God for LeBron's block and Kyrie's shot.
Tristan, you're 31 years old. You still can. We know you still can play. Are you still thinking about playing basketball, or are you done?
No, I'm still, you know, listen, at the end of the day, every opportunity deserves a look at. For myself, the opportunity in terms of basketball wise has to make sense to me. At this point in my life, you know, peace and happiness is more important than just suiting up and going out to play. It has to be the right fit and right situation. And, you know, teams are definitely called, but if the situation doesn't, you know, make me happy, you know, it's not worth it for me. And I'm enjoying doing this ESPN and being on this side of the fence. I'm enjoying it. Still be able to talk about basketball, chop shop, and argue with some old teammates.
All right, let's get to the hardcore analysis now then. LeBron James, a former teammate of yours, we've seen over the last few days, looks like he is going to miss an extended period here. And this is obviously disastrous for the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at a guy like Anthony Davis, it feels like we're in this situation every year where the question is asked, can Anthony Davis be the guy that the Lakers thought he could be when they traded for him and carry this team while LeBron is out?
I mean, the time is now. Trading away Brandon Ingram, trading away picks, trading away Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, like moving all these picks to get Anthony Davis is what the Lakers envision in Anthony Davis to be. And this is where, you know, it's money time. You know, they're going to run the offense through Anthony Davis, run a lot of things through him and depend on him a lot. And we need Anthony Davis to be the top 5 player that everyone knows he can be when healthy. So, of course, you know, this evening they fell short against Memphis. But listen, they're only, you know, now they're probably a full game behind the Pelicans, but they're right there in the play-in. And for me, just get this Lakers team into the play-in game, and with a healthy Lakers and a healthy LeBron James, and I'm taking them up really far. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Another teammate of yours, Kyrie Irving, has moved on to Dallas. What do you think about that trade?
I mean, listen, Dallas Mavericks last year made it to the Western Conference Finals, and they had Jalen Brunson. getting Kyrie Irving, and one thing about this Dallas team, they said they wanted to upgrade. They wanted more talent around Luka. Listen, you got Kyrie Irving now, who's an all-star starter, who's a Hall of Fame player, who's been in the big moments, who's been a champion. You got what you need as another running mate. So this team's got to understand that for them, they got to get back to Western Conference Finals. You getting there last year with lesser talent, you got to do it again. And you have another year of seasoned guys. Adding JaVale McGee, I think the fact that they're not playing him, they need to start playing him more because he's going to be very big for them, especially you could see that against the Lakers. But this team with Kyrie, they got to make it work. And listen, when you got a player like Kyrie on your team, it's going to wreak a lot of havoc and you got to get a lot of wins.
Now, as we discussed, you did get over the hump and were able to win an NBA championship, but not every superstar player is, and there is always conversation around guys like Damian Lillard, Nikola Jokic with Denver. But if we focus in on Damian Lillard, another 71 points earlier this week, and I just can't bring myself to sit here and discredit this man for what he does on the basketball court. It can't possibly be all about rings. Where do you stand on that debate? Are you kidding me?
It's about rings, brother. What's wrong with this guy? It's about the rings.
Listen, for the Damian Lillard situation, listen, Dame putting up 71 is 71, and that's a huge number, and it's not easy to do it. But for me, what breaks my heart more is that, Damian Lillard, if you spend time with him and you hear his quotes, he's just such a loyal individual and so loyal to the city of Portland. But if you look at that Portland Trailblazer team, they're not built for a championship. And a guy like Damian Lillard, I call him the people's champ. People call him the people's champ because he's a guy you want to see win. And it's just unfortunate because he's so loyal that he just can't be on that stage that he deserves. But I hope maybe even Portland does him a favor and say, you know what, we appreciate your service. We're just going to trade you because we know you deserve better than what we can provide for you at this time.
Now, Tristan, you're in the media now. You got a lot of friends still playing NBA ball. Are you now afraid to call them out? Will you call them out? Will you call a spade a spade? I need to know.
Listen, I'm everyone that knows me as a teammate, as a player, I'm about holding everyone accountable. So I'm definitely holding my friends accountable. And at the same time, it's like you said, just because you're just so newly removed from the game or still involved with players, it's always a fine line. But at the same time, you got to hold them accountable. Yeah. And guys understand, listen, we're all players. We've all played sports at different levels and at a high level. We know when we're having a good game and having a bad game. So be prepared. If you're having a bad game and they ask me questions, I'm going to have to hold you accountable. Doesn't mean that you can't bounce back, but we're going to hold you accountable. And guys understand it. Guys know my heart's good. And listen, I was on your butt when we were teammates. I'm going to be on your butt now, too.
And speaking of guys that can talk or teams that can talk, the Memphis Grizzlies obviously have been drawing a lot of media attention, and it started off as praise, and now, as it often does, slowly moving into the criticism. Where do you stand on the young Grizzlies and the brashness of this team?
Listen, look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I love their confidence. At the end of the day, they're in a small market in Memphis. So, they have to, they got to sell the product. They're playing at a high level, but to get the media attention, you got to have some takes. You got to say some stuff to get the media to come down and get the buzz going. So I understand where they're coming from. But listen, all that is great. All that's amazing. But guess what? In the playoffs, if you're doing all that talking, you got to be ready to back it up. And listen, I love John Morant. I think he's a top 5 point guard in our league. And I know that if those guys rally behind him, they can accomplish great things. The question is, in the postseason, can they get this done? And this will be the big test for them.
All right, back to that 2016 championship team then. If we're talking about trash talking, who is doing the most talk on the floor? Because clearly this was a club that backed it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was always me and Draymond. Me and Draymond, that 4-year run, we were the two enforcers and the guys that were kind of like the heart and soul of our team. So we had to defend our guys. He was defending Steph and Clay. I was defending LeBron, Kyrie, and K Love. So we got after it. But the crazy thing about it is that when we're talking trash to each other, and in LA, our kids are like best friends going on trips with each other. We're like, how are we going to talk trash? And our kids are like best friends, both watching us and saying Uncle Tristan and Uncle Draymond. So it was crazy to see, but I love it. He's one of my dear friends now, but those times were good. It was nothing like it. And, especially at that level.
All right, Tristan, last question here. Put it on the line now. Who's going to win the championship this year?
Tough one. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see a Boston versus Phoenix Phoenix champion
nice.
finals. I would love to see that kind of finals because you know what? Jason Tatum versus Kevin Durant, Marcus Smart versus Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams. And then you got those little dark horses in, you got Terrence Ross and then you got Grant Williams. You got all those other key role players, but I want to see that matchup because it'd be great for TV, especially if LeBron's not going to be in the finals. But guess what? We all want to see LeBron or Steph Curry in the finals. So if we don't get those two, that's the next best option.
Wow.
Definitely would not complain with that matchup, Tristan. And we know we'll be watching here from Australia on ESPN, and you'll be on our TV screens. We can't wait until we get to that point. Thanks a lot again for your time today.
No, I appreciate you guys, fellas. Thank you. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Copes, you can see why he is getting it done in the media already. He speaks well, and that is a big guest.
Can you believe we got an NBA champion on Kane and Copes? We're getting big time ourselves. He's doing a great job on ESPN, though.
Well, we're only just getting started. And by the way, we didn't even mention Matthew Dellavedova, part of that. He is the king of Cleveland.
Absolutely. Cleveland? Are you talking about Cleveland? You know how much I hate Cleveland. Don't do that.
All right, well, one of the major highlights from that 2016 NBA Finals was the block from LeBron, which brings me to this point. I think we should check out some of the best blocks in the NBA this season so far.
One by Houston. Here comes Green, 1-on-3. And look at Morant coming out of nowhere. Chandler with deflection, but Green's gotta go. He dances, steps, fires another block, and then Okogie just took it from him in one motion and then ripped it the other way.
Booker. Blocked by Butler. Taken back by Booker. 3 seconds left for the win. He missed it. Miami holds on and defeats the Phoenix Suns.
It's Durant exploding. Going up there in mid-flight by Embiid. Picked up by Tillman.
Now Mitchell, guarded by Brown, 4 seconds left. Mitchell spinning with 2. Step back 3, blocked by Tatum, and we go to overtime.
Now Halliburton on the run. He's got Buddy one way. He'll get it himself. Jackson meets him up top. Pings it to the window.
That's a smart play by Simmons. Durant blocked by Osumo. And a turnover. James powers to the basket. Blocked by Taco. Oh, what a rejection.
KD with Russ. Couple of veterans.
Oh, Russ! Blocked from behind! Off the screen for 3. Damian Lillard knocks down a triple. Biggs hangs, finds Dame. Step back 3. Powered it up and in. Windmilling his arms. Blazers by 10. A burst into the lane. Flushed him with a right hand. Tate with him. Sets his feet. Leans back for 3. Got it! Damian Lillard, a career high. High dribble into the lane, running right-hander up and in. Damian Lillard with that runner. 71 points, a career high.
We got, I think, 23, 22 games left after this. And we need to win as many as possible. And, obviously being shorthanded, I know that it's going to be a team effort, but I feel like I got to, do my best to be aggressive and just try to do what I can to make sure that we get some wins. And, that's all the case was tonight. I wanted to be in attack mode. I came out, I saw it go in a few times. And I just stayed aggressive. I didn't ease up. I didn't, try to back off or anything. Second half, they came out and gave me a lot of attention, and I just wanted to be patient. I didn't want to try to come out and get back on the heater. So I just kept making the right plays.
He's loyal, and he is an all-time scorer. Damian Lillard with the Portland Trail Blazers. He just continues to get buckets. What do you think of Damian Lillard?
71 points. He's an absolute superstar. And you're right, he's loyal because he could have gone to any other team and played with another superstar. He wants to get it done the right way on his team.
So 71 for Dame. He had a 60-point game earlier in the season. What was your high score?
49, I think it was, here with the Melbourne Tigers. But I had 66 in the Philippines.
66 in the Philippines. That's not too bad. And 49 points playing alongside Andrew Gaze. I'm sure he.
It was tough. It was tough. I had to fight against the defense and Andrew Gaze to get those 49 points.
All right. So we know about your exploits with the Melbourne Tigers. Let's go back to this Philippines stuff though, because I was not aware that this was something you'd done. 66 points is no joking matter.
None whatsoever. They had the real NBA line. They played all year round. I was the only import, so I got to shoot it every time. But I shot the ball very well, and it was a very good game. But then on top of that, Dwayne McClain comes out. We've had two games that day. Dwayne McClain, who played for the other team, comes out and has 72 in the same game. So I'm sitting here with I'm all feeling good about myself. and Dwayne dropped 72 the next game.
It felt like you were back in Melbourne with Andrew Gaze getting all those buckets. You dropped 49. He drops 50. Who are you playing with?
Pepsi. Pepsi in the Philippines, a very good team. We didn't make the playoffs, but I got my numbers.
I'm not going to lie. I did think that perhaps you would forget what team you were playing with. So I was trying to catch you out there. It didn't quite work. But speaking of box office stars, let's go to the NBA. And I'm going to walk you through your 5 box office stars. And let's start with Ja Morant.
Yes, he is a very energetic player. Look, you know what I like about him? His confidence, his size, the way he goes about it, the way he's not afraid to go inside and dunk on the biggest guy on the opposition team. Look, he's a smart player. He gets everyone involved. But his confidence, for me, is the big thing. When you got a guy this size who scores most of his points inside the paint, he's going to be a superstar for a long time.
28 points in a quarter earlier this week against the Los Angeles Lakers. And I would have to say, in the league, he probably has the best highlight packages of guys that haven't made dunks. He's got the best highlight package of not made dunks in the league, Ja Morant. What about Luka Doncic? He's on your list.
He is on my list. You know what I like about him? His pace, the way he's never rushed. He plays at his own pace. He gets the triple-double. He gets people involved. He can shoot and make the long-range jump shot, and he's confident enough to knock that game winner down night in and night out.
The Golden State Warriors are just hanging on. They're trying to go back-to-back, and Steph Curry, we're hoping that he comes back soon, but he's putting up around 12 threes per game. He's on your list.
Best shooter in the NBA, in the history of the NBA, I think. And again, I played against his dad back in the day, and he was a great shooter as well, but nothing like Steph Curry. You'll never see another Steph Curry, I don't think.
A 7-footer averaging a triple-double, Nikola Jokic. Where does he rank in the best passes in the NBA?
MVP, he is for the third time. Give it to him.
Three in a row.
He's averaging a triple-double. Give it to him right now. Stop talking about it. I know you want your boy in there. I know you want the Greek freak in there. Give it to the big fella.
I'm just here to ask the questions, Cope. So you come with the opinions, and sometimes they can be a little bit more questionable than others. What about Jason Tatum? The Boston Celtics no longer at the top of the East, but they are right there in the mix. Where does he lie?
He is the next face of the NBA, I think, because he carries his team. They've been to the finals, didn't win it, but he's been consistent night in and night out. He gets the job done. His size is a factor because he's bigger than most guards. He shoots it very well. He can score inside. He rebounds the ball well. He does it all. He's the next face. He's the next LeBron James of the NBA.
And he went away and worked on his game in the offseason. And you know what it takes when you don't quite get over the hump and you come back the next year and you have that revenge factor. Does that count for something?
Absolutely. It takes you a year to go in there, have a go at it. When you lose, you come back angry, fired up, ready to go. And that's exactly what he's done. And that's why I think Boston will be in the grand final this year.
Not a bad list, Copes, I have to say. Not a bad list, not a perfect list.
You don't approve of it? You don't approve of it?
No Giannis, no Zion.
Come on, man.
No LeBron?
He's 60 years old. What are you talking about? LeBron's time. It's time to go. We got to bring some new faces in here.
He's putting up 30 points a game, Coach.
Not anymore. He's got a sore ankle.
Oh, I think you need to straighten up a little bit here. And let's get to Klay Thompson. Speaking of older players pulling rank, which you like to do with me on this show, have a look at this. This is Jordan Poole, steps up to the free throw line, and he thinks he's going to take the tech. And Klay Thompson says, listen to you, young fella, just shuffle off back behind the three-point line.
I can't even believe he went to the line. Who do you think you are?
Coach, before you go any further, because I need to settle you down,
oh my God.
We're going to get to what Klay Thompson had to say about this incident.
And was that Jordan trying to take that off the ball free throw there, and did you have to bump him off?
I did, man. I told Jordan when he gets to my colossal age, he can have seniority. He said that's a bad excuse. So I'm like, buddy, it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So I know he was the free throw champ last year, but I think I got a little better percentage this year. So I'm gonna continue to do that. Sorry, young fella.
The 4-time champion can pull rank, Copes. I'm with you there.
Every time. He's a champion. You heard what he said? Young fella, step back, let the big dogs do it.
Let's go to his teammate, though, because there's nothing we love more than when Draymond Green is mic'd up. A huge weekend hoops preview coming up, but here's Draymond.
Justin, what up? Chilling, you all right?
Told me that when you wear a mic that you're extra good. That's what they tell me. I don't know. We'll find out.
You know I'm good when I don't have a mic on.
Right with me.
Exactly. There we go.
Yo, fellas. Come on, come on.
Just us. Hey, let's get it.
Okay.
Come on. Yes, sir. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Getting more money. Hey, now, you know it. Let's get it. Go, boy. Jump it, double screen, jump it. Ice. Put that shoulder in his chest, Will. Yes, sir. Come on, let's go. Hey! Yes, sir. How are you? You're such a pretty girl. I love you. You wanna go hang with Nana? You wanna go with me? Hey, tell Nana, come on. Say, come on, Nana.
A massive weekend of hoops coming up on ESPN, which of course is your home for hoops. But quick question, Tristan Thompson in the NBL, where should he go? 3 teams. You got Melbourne United, who need an enforcer. You got Kane Pitman, who needs a rebounder, and the Perth Wildcats, who pay the money. Get him over here. ESPN or NBL? ESPN. Yeah, you're exactly right, because I can tell you for a fact right now, the way Tristan Thompson performed on this show today, if he decides to come to Australia, both of us will be out of a job, and we're only just trying to get started here. Excellent show from you tonight, Copes.
Thank you, Kane.
See you next week.